Google Analytics 4 uses an event-based model, which maybe feels a little bit unfamiliar to marketers and is why a lot of them tend to feel more comfortable with the old Universal Analytics platform. Universal Analytics was based on a session-based model. So as the names indicate, essentially in the old world, we are really focused on all the different things that somebody might do through the duration of their visit. Whereas in GA4, we're focused on maybe more granular interactions. So every little action a user takes could be considered an event. Now, an event is not necessarily a conversion. Google actually now calls those key events. And so you are able to, in your Google Analytics interface, mark events as key events if they're very specific things you want to track. But one thing that I'll point out here is almost every little thing a user does is now an event. So page view, session start, first visit, user engagement, scroll, click. These are all captured by default and reported on in Google Analytics. In addition to this, it does try to do some other things right out of the box, such as form tracking, and form edits, things along those lines. Things that used to require custom setup for events aren't required anymore necessarily. Now, you do have the ability to also set up additional custom events. So right here, this list is basically what you get by default. However, if you want to get more granular about clicks on very specific items, or maybe when people are interacting with FAQs in an accordion, or they're performing advanced searches, there's all sorts of different things that you can do. So setting up custom events can be done in one of a couple different ways. I'm not going to go into too many details in this particular video, but just know that 1, you can ask your developer to set it up. 2, you can use Google Tag Manager. And 3, there's even the possibility of doing that within the actual Google Analytics 4 interface. But the primary thing to note is just what these things are. And just as a quick view and comparison in GA4, this is where you're going to see this. If you go into engagement and events, that's where you're going to start seeing the information. Now, keep in mind, depending on what you selected during your setup as your intents for using Google Analytics 4, this could look a little bit different, but this is basically the default. That's an overview of events. Again, future videos will dive into more depth, but these are just little pieces of information that are helpful for you to know.